While most of us were busy looking up north at what's happening in Afghanistan,
ladies and gentlemen, it was time to end a 20-year war. Thank you so much.
Sri Lanka quietly went into an economic emergency. As we speak, there is shortage of food on the island. Things have become really expensive and Sri Lanka's foreign exchange reserves are depleting fast. So, how did Sri Lanka find itself in such an economically vulnerable position? Well, like almost every other news story nowadays, the story of Sri Lanka also begins with the pandemic. In 2020, coronavirus forced the world to go into lockdown. Flights were cancelled, trade routes were disrupted, and you know the rest. So let's just skip to what happened in Sri Lanka. The economy of Sri Lanka is highly dependent on two things: foreign tourism.
When you can go from sun-kissed to mountain mist in just 4 hours, that's so Sri Lanka.
And export of tea and spices. That's it. Sri Lanka does not manufacture anything. Neither does it have natural resources like oil or coal. So the country has to import almost everything from smartphones to bulldozers to refrigerators to oil from abroad. So what Sri Lanka does is that it collects foreign currencies like dollars and euros from foreign tourists and the export of its tea and spices. Then it uses that foreign currency to import everything that it needs. In 2020, when coronavirus hit the world, tourists stopped coming to Sri Lanka on vacations, and lockdown disrupted the export of tea and spices. This led to a decline in foreign currency and Sri Lanka's foreign exchange reserves. And for a country that hardly manufactures anything, Sri Lanka has also taken a lot of loans for unnecessary projects like the Hambantota port that barely anyone uses and other infrastructure projects that are neither necessary nor profitable to the country's economy. And Sri Lanka has to pay installment on these loans, that too in dollars. So to save its precious forex reserves and the total collapse of its economy, the country had to cut down on its imports. Therefore, the Sri Lankan government banned the import of any item that it considered unnecessary, like toothbrush handles, wet wipes, strawberries, and even sugar. The government also had to reduce the import of items that are necessary to run an economy, like oil and construction material, leading to scarcity of goods on the island, therefore making everything really expensive, causing inflation. Among the list of items that were banned from import, fertilizers and pesticides were one of them, which were costing the Sri Lankan economy $400 million annually. To justify this ban, the President of Sri Lanka, Gotabaya Rajapaksa, announced that effective immediately, the Sri Lankan agriculture will go completely organic, and no farmer will be allowed to use pesticides and fertilizers in their crops. Some people are also saying that it was actually a doctor in Rajapaksa's advisory team who convinced him to ban pesticides and fertilizers, saying that pesticides are the reason behind the spread of chronic kidney diseases in Sri Lanka, which is not quite true. Chronic kidney diseases in Sri Lanka are caused by high levels of fluoride found in the country's water table. And the high levels of fluoride are not because of pesticides, but more because of unscientific irrigation projects, like digging too many bore wells. Anyways, when Rajapaksa made organic farming compulsory, the productivity of agriculture on the island dropped, leading to scarcity of food in Sri Lanka. It is being said that the production of the country's top export, tea, will go down by 50% because of this fertilizer ban. And because Sri Lanka does not have enough foreign exchange reserves, therefore it also cannot import extra food from countries like India. In short, Sri Lanka's economy is stuck, where it can neither grow enough food because it refuses to use fertilizers, nor can it import food because it does not have enough foreign currency, and the foreign currency is not coming because there are no tourists. The only viable solution Sri Lanka has right now is to reverse its ban on pesticides and fertilizers and hopefully get a bailout loan from the IMF. Otherwise, there's always China, happily waiting to buy another island. After what happened at Sri Lanka, there are some people who are saying that organic farming is a total failure and modern agriculture cannot take place without pesticides and fertilizers, which is not true. Organic farming is effective. It's just that it takes a lot of time to transition from conventional farming to organic farming. Sikkim is India's first fully organic state, and it took the state 16 years to transition from conventional farming to organic farming. Bhutan is also taking 15 more years to do the same. At the same time, organic farming also requires a lot of research, teaching, and support from the government. In my opinion, organic farming is now a necessity, considering how overuse of fertilizers and pesticides are ruining our health and the environment. Sri Lanka too should also aim to go fully organic, but slowly. If it wants help, they should ask India, home to the world's largest number of organic farmers. And India too should be proactive in giving Sri Lanka aid in its time of need and expertise in organic farming. Thank you ladies and gentlemen for coming over to my vlog. I'll see you soon.